Hello everyone, welcome again to this my channel. My name is Manuel Madanga, and I'm going to take you through today's look at is on filtering. So I will go directly to our agendas and objectives of today. So the agendas of today will be as follows, as highlighted. So we're going to look at filtering. So we're going to look at the simple column filtering, multiple column filtering, simple alternatives of the two. We are going to see how the easiest way of doing the above two. Then we are going to look at how to carry out number filtering, text filtering, and filtering based on color, date filtering, and some aspect of advanced filtering, that is to cover on advanced and filtering, advanced or filtering, and then we are going to look at advanced formula filtering, that's filtering based on a particular formula. So we are going to start, and I'll just go directly to our agendas here for our start. So let me go to the Microsoft Excel where I have my data set that I'm going to use in this training. So you'll allow me also to increase the view so that I may zoom to increase the view. Yeah, so this is the data that we are going to use in our today's training. So this data, I used it in my video on how to carry out sorting in Microsoft Excel. So we are just going directly to what we're supposed to cover. So we're supposed to start with the simple column filtering. So as you can see, this data is just in rows and columns. So for us to introduce filtering, you go to data tab, then under insert filtering, sort and filtering. So sort and filter group, you just click on filter, then you will see some buttons here, the arrow buttons there. So when I click that, this is what we want. So when I click there that I want to filter like that, so my data is now in the filtering mode, so I can be able to filter my data based on some criteria that I want to do that. So for you to introduce these buttons, what you just have to do is to just click any of the single cell, then you go to the data tab, then you click on under sort and filter group, just click on filter. So the arrows will appear as they are there, and then you can now proceed and carry out filtering. So let's say that we want to filter based on the country. So what do we do for that case, filtering based on the country? So filtering, what it does is it shows you what you just want to see, the rows you want to see, the number of observations that you want to see based on a certain criteria. So like in this case, I can filter, maybe I just want to see only sales that were made in USA. So I will just uncheck the select all, then check USA alone, then I will click OK. So I will only be able to see the sales that were made in USA alone. Then suppose I want again to, yes, that is just a single column filtering. So in multiple column filtering is where now we are going to look at how to again proceed with filtering. So this one we have just filtered based on the country. So let us go and go somehow to an extent whereby maybe we want to look at where the quarter is, maybe the fourth quarter. So let's go to the multiple column filtering. So this is our data. We said that when you want to introduce filters in your data, you just go to data tab, sort and filter group, you just click on filter, then you will have to see this the drop down buttons. So these buttons, the arrow buttons, you just go to quarter. So in this case, we want first of all to start filtering this data now based on the country. So you just uncheck the select all, then check USA, click OK. Then again now proceed to the quarter. This data is now, it will first of all filter your data based on the country, and then you can now filter your data based on which quarter. So you first of all unselect all, then you check the quarter, the fourth quarter, then you click OK. So this data has only showed us what we wanted to see is this filter based on the quarters and based on the country. So first of all it will filter based on the country, then followed by the quarter. So from there you can now be able to remove filters. You know, filters, you don't lose your data is just there, so you don't lose it. So you can just click to unfilter your data. You can come here to the drop downs again, then you do what, you just clear filter from country, then you will have all your data back. That is for USA. Then from there you can now go to the quarter again, the drop down, you just do what, clear filter from quarter, then you'll see all your data will be back. So let's try to see the alternative of the two. And it seems to be, from my own experience, is the easiest among the two methods that we have already looked at. So you just go to your data, like in this case you go specifically to the row that you want to filter. So to the column you want to filter based on, so you just right click, for example here in the country, you just right click, then you go to filter. In the filter drop down you can now filter based on what you want. For example, I want to filter based on value, so filter based on values, cell values. So I just click that, because now I had selected in the cell I selected UK, I will only be able to see the observations in the UK. Then also, for example, in this case now maybe you wanted to do it based on the fourth quarter again. So just go to fourth quarter, right click and a filter, then click sales value, just that, then you'll be okay. That is for the case of UK. Yeah, so those two can be summarized using this simple alternative. Just right clicking the cell that you want to filter based on, then you click on filter based on cell values. So let's try to look at number filtering, how we carry out number filtering. So you know, in number filtering we are not looking at the text, we are looking at the number, so you have to consider the column known as cells. So in this number filtering, what is it all about is filtering data based on a certain criteria in the numbers. So for you to introduce filter, we said you go to the data tab, then you go to under sort and filter group, just click filter, you'll see these drop downs. So once you see the drop down button, so maybe for example in this case we want to filter number filter, just go to this drop down, click here, you will see number filter here, number filters. Let's see, if you go to a cell that is not having number filter, what will it tell you? Let's go check the column, there is no number filter, there is text filter. So the number filter will only appear where there is numbers, and text filter will only appear where there is text. So in this case cells, so I click on cells, drop down. So under this I can now see sort by color, or sorry, not sort by color. So we are looking at the number filtering. So just go to number filtering, and maybe I just want to see some values that are having greater than, maybe let's say 10,000 values greater than 10,000, something like that. Yes, greater than 10,000. So I just click OK, only that is what I want. So just click OK. So I'll only be able to see values that are greater than that 10,000. So you have seen that we have a lot of options here. You can do a lot of things that you want to see. If you want to see the top 10, if you want to see the less than, if you want to see not equal to, below average, above average, all that is covered under this. Okay, so that is well noted. So maybe we can also proceed and look we can also proceed and maybe look at text filtering. So text filtering, so this is the text filtering data. This is just the same data that we have looked at in the previous examples. So in the text filtering, again, the same procedures apply. So like for example here, I must insert filters, but the same way I said. So you go to the data, under sort and filter group, just click filter, then you'll see this. So maybe for example in this case, let's say in this case you want to filter your data maybe based on the name of an individual. Maybe in the group you just want to see some cells based on, let's say that now we want to filter this our data now, our text filter based on, let's say, the last name, and we want to see only cases where we have last name starting with J. So let's go here, you click here, then you just go to text filters, then you say begins with, then you just write here begins with, you write J. And you can see here you have also been provided with an alternative. You may use and or, and maybe ends with, yeah, things like that. So you can do a lot of things here in this when you have all this. So that begins with J. So we click OK, and our data will be filtered to only C. Johnson and C. Jones, their records, that is. So that's how we carry out text filtering. So let's proceed to the color filtering. So unlike in sorting, where you arrange your data based on the colors, that you will see all the colors together that are having all the observations that have the same color together. In this case, you will only be able to see a particular color as you want it to appear. So for you to do that, you just have to go to the data tab, click on filters, so that you can see the drop down for the colors. So in any of the cells, you can just go to the last name here, and in this case you are doing what? Filter by color. So filter by color, you can now select which color you want to see. So maybe for example I just want to see the first quarter, which is having this color, so I just click that, and I will only be able to see those observations that are having that particular color. Unlike in sorting, where it will be able to rearrange your colors, your cells based on colors. So here I can clear filters, and again I recover my data. So my data has not been lost. So those are the skills that we are learning in sorting and filtering. So then from there we can now proceed to date. So in date, maybe okay, this my data is not having that. Let me just add it here. Alright, I will cover it up at the end. So let me just go to the advanced filtering. I will find the dates and then cover it up at the end. So under the advanced filtering, here is now more complex compared to the other cases that we have looked at. The other cases have been just a simple way of filtering that is not that advanced and not that complex, and we come to realize that we come to experience some challenges that require complex attention to be taken into consideration. So here we want to start with the advanced AND criteria. So the advanced AND, what it does, suppose someone wants to see the sales that were made in USA and are in the fourth quarter, and are in the fourth quarter, and are or and happened in the fourth quarter. So in that case it is and. So you want to see sales that happened in USA and are in fourth quarter. So let's see how we go about that. So in this case, you have to create some criteria somewhere. So I just wanted to introduce here some rows above. So we said for you to introduce new rows, you click on I cover it in my Microsoft Excel basics, how to insert rows and columns. So you just click on the first row, click on the fifth row. For example, you want to insert 5 rows, so you right click and then click insert. So you'll have your blank rows here. So I want to, for advanced filtering, so you must again have the same titles that you have in your data, you must have them in your criteria. So I am creating a criteria range. So that is it. Then from there, you now write here what you want to filter based on. So you have said we wanted to see the cells that are in USA and are in the 4th quarter. So I just write here USA and then I write here the 4th quarter. You can just copy it. Okay, you can just type it, there's no problem, as long as they are same. So I write that. So that is the criteria. So in advanced filtering, what do you do? So once you have the criteria there, that is the criteria. The one at the top is criteria, at the bottom is the data, the range, or we can call it the list range, and this one is the criteria range. So how do we carry out advanced filtering? So what you have to do is select anywhere in your list range, then you go to the data tab. So under data tab, you go to advanced filtering. That is advanced. Just click advanced. Then once you click advanced, you will see your list range already highlighted. So that means that everything is okay there. So what you go for is the criteria range. So click in the text box under the criteria range. Then now you select the range from A1 to D2. I also introduced what is a cell range, what is a cell, what is a workbook, what is a spreadsheet or the sheet in my video known as Introduction to Microsoft Excel. You can also get it. So once you have highlighted the criteria, you just click OK. And suppose you happen to have duplicates in your data, you can check this to only show you unique records only. And again, you can also change the location where you want to see your filters. So I am not going to cover that today. So today I'm going to show you how to use the advanced filtering to filter this data based on this criteria, where we want to see that the country is US and it is the data is concerning the 4th quarter, just the same as how we did in the multiple filtering, column filtering. So you just click OK. You see, there we go. So our data here is filtered in the sense that we have our cells made in USA and in the 4th quarter. So let's look at the advanced filtering for OR. The same way we did in the other case, you will first of all start by creating the criteria range. So I select also again. So I hold shift, select up to the 5th, right click, then insert. Nice. So and again I can now copy this. You must have the same headers or the column names as the same that are in the list range. So again here we just want to do like something closer or similar to that, but this one will be a bit advanced. Sorry for that. So in all what we have covered, there was no any rocket science that was happening. And again now here we want to look at, so this one is a little bit advanced compared to the one we had for AND. So for OR, for example, I want to see the cells that are in USA and are in 4th quarter or cells that were made in UK and are in the first quarter. Look at that statement. Cells that were made in USA and are in the fourth quarter, or cells that were made in UK and are in the first quarter. You see now how that one is a bit advanced. How do we go about that? So the same procedure we used in advanced filtering for AND is what we are going to use here. But now you can see we added this, the OR operator. So you have to click anywhere in your data, go to advanced, click advanced. You'll see a dialog box pop up, has already highlighted your list range. Just go to the criteria range, select the data range, then you click OK. Your data will be filtered based on the criteria that the cells are in USA in quarter 4 or UK in quarter 1. So just click OK. There you go. Cells in USA in quarter 4, in UK in quarter 1. That is how we carry out that advanced filtering for OR. Finally, we want to look at how we do the advanced filtering, but this one will now be based on a formula. This one is now more advanced compared to the two cases that we have just looked at. So in this aspect, we are going to introduce an aspect known as, so let's say an operator. So this will be equal to, maybe we want to again look at, or we want the data to display the cells that are in USA in first quarter. Okay, sorry, in USA in fourth quarter, the same way we have been looking at the other one, but they are greater than 10,000, or in UK in quarter 1. You see how that works? So that is how it works. Cells that are made in US the fourth quarter and they are greater than 10,000, or cells in UK in quarter 1. So let's see how we go about that. So we say that is equal to, so I wanted to check which cell here is greater than that. So maybe I want to confirm based on this, maybe B4, I say greater than 10,000. Of course it will return, okay, let me just use start from here. I have not started by introducing my extra, so sorry, I'm not writing where I'm supposed to write. I'm supposed to introduce first of all the criteria range, where we can now be able to write that range, that operation. So I just have to hold shift, click there, right click, then insert, then now here at the top is when I come up with those ideas. So I copy this just the same way what we had in here under here. So I just copy this UK, quote that, copy this, take it here to the formulas. So here I paste, then I add now the operation that I have been talking about, so here when you are looking at advanced filtering based on a particular formula, so you just come here. For example, now here I want to only filter based on cells, as I have said, where USA and are in the fourth quarter and are greater than 10,000, or in UK quarter 1. That is the criteria I want to write here. So here I will just write equal to, I select my first cell in the cells column, then I say greater than 10,000, then I hit enter. Of course it is false, so it will be evaluating, is it false, true, up to the end. So I come here to my list range, then go to advanced filter. After clicking advanced filter, now I come to the criteria range. Here I write my range. My range here is, I just select that. So you don't label your column name under the criteria range for false for the boolean operator. So from there you just click okay. You'll be able to get your results where USA and is in the fourth quarter, then the values that are greater than 10,000, while anything that is in UK and in quarter 1. Yes, so that's how we go about that. I thank you so much for watching my video. Kindly subscribe so that we may learn more in the upcoming and many videos and get connected to us directly. Thank you so much. Have a nice